Hey everyone, I'm Boom.
And I'm Spice, and this is Fantasy Friday episode 8.
Yes,
Episode
it
8.
is.
And we are covering The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. It is the third book and the final in this trilogy of Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. The copy that Boom lent me is terribly beat up, and I apologize profusely.
That's all right. I'm gonna get people coming over to my bookshelf and be like, "Wow, you must really like this. This is red." Like,
Nope.
no,
No, I don't.
no.
No, I just lent it to a friend and sat at the bottom of his booking bag. I guess. I don't know. You caught me at a weird time. I was like in the middle of big teaching stuff when
No,
I was reading this.
no, I don't. I don't mind. I don't mind if my books get beat up.
It has
At
the
least,
most like um the most revelatory cover of them all, for sure. We won't reveal why until the spoiler section.
mhm.
So in that sense, I'd give the cover an A.
Yeah, yeah. It actually makes makes some sense. The other two,
Oh,
really don't.
especially not the Well of Ascension.
No, it does not at all.
I think Mistborn, you could imagine Vin jumping out of that window or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But it's like plot wise,
it
kind of
doesn't.
weird.
Yeah,
But no, Hero of Ages is it's cool because you wouldn't really be able to get what it's telling you,
yeah.
but you could. It's just it's a good. That's cool foreshadowing without even having to open it.
Yeah.
My new favorite part of the books.
And the non-spoiler section, Boom. What is your grade for this book?
Hmm, that's tough. It's tough to place it among
Yeah,
the other ones. I don't know if I want it where. Uh, I mean, it's still a C.
yeah.
It
It's
I
just
just don't know
whether
what
it's a C
percentage of
plus or
C.
a minus
Yeah,
or in the middle.
yeah. It'd be hard for me to go plus or much more than just like right at
Yeah,
75, 76, maybe. I just don't know exactly my order.
they dropped the
They're
ball with
very
some of the
similar.
good stuff from the hero or from the Well of Ascension.
Yeah.
With some of the characters, the ending is really weird. It's least rushed of the three books, but it's also the most boring of the three.
Yeah. I think man, I don't know. Maybe slightly under Well of Ascension for me, like a percentage point.
Yeah, yeah,
Because there are a couple things that are interesting here, and then a few I was not super thrilled.
yeah. It's a bit of a slog, this one. Um, did you audiobook it?
I did audiobook most of it.
How'd you like it?
Pretty good. They keep the same narrators, so it's still Brandon Kramer.
I thought his name was
Am I
like
saying Brandon
Michael.
Sanderson? Yeah, it's Michael Kramer. Brandon Kramer, the duo of Michael Kramer,
Yeah,
Brandon
they
Sanderson.
do like a Dragon Ball Z fusion
Yeah,
dance, and
yeah. Michael Kramer did this one also.
I was about to say
Did a pretty good job. He does
he
good
chose that guy
voices.
because his name's Brandon. Nepotism.
No, he does a lot of fantasy. I think he does most of Brandon Sanderson's books. He does good character work. I think that definitely helps with the entertainingness. So I would call it like a plus doing the audio for that reason.
Say Marsh finally becoming a character worth of like consequence other than the end of Wall of Ascension is it's a good turn. I think the addition of that new guy is really late in the game. Like the leader who has um, a certain trait that we're not going to spoil for the audience. Really, really late in the game. So it's like I don't know why you would
Mm-hmm.
not build this guy up. There's a lot of just tossing in someone real late in the series just to add a conflict. Like Zane was a late addition This guy's a very late addition to the narrative. The guy in the wheelchair from the previous book, super late addition to the narrative. I don't know. You have a trilogy. Why wouldn't you build things up from book to book? It's mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, no, I think that's well said. When you have this many pages that you're putting us through, to not like to just keep like, and by the way, like,
Yep. Oh, and
and then
this
there's one
thing,
more.
yep. Plus this.
Yeah, that are all just resolved like over the span of this last minute that you put them in, are kind of, I don't know, it gets a little old by the last book.
I wonder how many pages did we read between these three?
Yeah, they're all just about 700.
Let's see. So, we want to pull up a calculator. So, uh-oh. So not counting the last like 5 pages of table of contents, like for the Allomancy. The first book, you ready?
Yep.
643 plus 750. No, I almost counted the
Allomancy.
752. And then 790. Wait, no. 780. Come on. 85.
2,180 pages.
You want to throw in Elantris for that?
Yeah.
Let's see.
That's enough. Oh, jeez.
638.
2,818 pages of these books.
That is nuts.
Yeah, I've read like 5 more of his books.
Do they get better?
The Stormlight Archive. I think it's better than Mistborn, but not like I wouldn't say it's better than Lies of Aquamara.
Yeah.
So it's
like a B then, I
maybe
guess.
like a B-.
Low B.
Yeah, it's better.
I'll read it at some point.
It kind of does the same stuff for me, where it's just like super downer all the time. The world, I think, is a little bit more interesting, but there's a couple like things I'm really not a big fan of in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a lot to read. This is just straight up.
Yeah, we've read a lot of Brandon Sanderson.
Man, for the next one, we should add up the Liza Locke Lamar books and compare it.
Yeah, probably similar.
Yeah.
They're a little, I don't know, they're bigger books. Like the copies I have are just like more
wider.
footage. Yeah. But I don't know how that relates to the page content.
No idea. Boom. Would you recommend this for somebody?
I don't know. I guess, I mean, it being the third book of a trilogy, when they leave you on such a crazy way as the last book did, where you just have no idea what to expect, I guess then you're pretty much stuck with it. As a whole for the series, I mean, I feel like Brandon Sanderson, as a writer, is someone you kind of have to read in fantasy, but I wouldn't read this over Elantris. If you haven't read that yet and you're just going you want to try something from every author, that would be what you should read from him if you were just taking one work and then just going between him and others. But I think I mentioned it in the last, I think it was 2 episodes ago now. The magic system's crazy, and I know people who really like crazy magic systems, and like really involved things that are like hard to understand. Some people they like those complex things. I like them to an extent, uh, but I think if you're really into that and having a whole chart to reference, that might be something that people really like.
I think a problem might be that I read Discworld so close to it, and Discworld's the opposite. Like I read
Yeah.
something the other day, and it might have been Sorcery, where it was like, "Hey, there's no map for the Discworld. You can make one of your own if you'd like." Like, I think the opposite attitude is Brandon's. He likes to over-explain, and some people like that. They like to have their meaning conscripted to them, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want to take that away from anyone else. It's just not for me, I don't think.
Yeah, and then the one that frustrates me is I can get down with a magic system that's super restrictive and definite, because that can add some stakes to fight scenes and what's going on when you know exactly what your magic is capable of.
Yeah.
So if your hero's in a position where you think that they might not be able to do something by the constraints of this system that the author has given you, that's interesting to me. But so many times in these books, it's broken. Like what this magic is defined as, the main character doesn't have to follow,
Yep.
and that just ruins. I mean, it ruins all of the suspense. Any intrigue that you had there based off of that and the magic. Because up until the main character here, Vin, like starts using breaking these rules, it's kind of interesting. Like you when you flare your metal, like you're gonna run out of it, you're gonna get
Yep.
hurt. You can only do certain things with certain metals. Even the Mistborn are limited. But then to have your main character, like the most convenient person to be overpowered, to be super overpowered, just kind of kills it.
Yep. I agree. It almost feels like a Pokemon battle where it's like, yeah, you can throw whatever you want at me, but I've got the one with the higher hit points and has more resiliency, so I'm just gonna win.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
watching the Pokemon cartoons. I used to get super mad at them when I would watch them because I played the card game, and there are moves, and stuff that happens in the game, like that are the rules of Pokemon battling, or even playing the video games. Then you watch the show, and like they would break the rules, like in the battle, like Ash would do something that Pokemon can't do. You're like, what? Like that's so frustrating. Like you can't do that move, or like you can't survive that. That's stupid. And like I can kind of get that here. I think it's and probably I'll say in the spoiler section some of the exact
Yeah.
the real cases of that happening, but yeah, it's a little bit of a downer because that's one of my least favorite things in fantasy is when you have the overpowered protagonist whose
Yep.
magic is just better. Like that's the Sword of Truth series I read. I like those books, I do. But the hero's magic is literally just to have more magic than the bad guy. Like he's just based on need, and that's kind of how it gets to feel when you don't have this defined magic. It can be done well, not having defined magic, like really well. We've read that. Discworld for one. Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
There is magic, but it's not super defined, very loose rule set. That can be super cool. Because then you don't know if the bad guys have more, or what's going on. But when you think you know exactly what the rules are and it's not that way, that's when it gets frustrating.
Yep. Dune, their powers of clairvoyancy are not especially clear, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. I can see the future, but only a little. Sometimes it's not quite the future, but I'm seeing it.
Maybe future. I don't know. Well,
like can't we all do?
It's just called speculating. Oh man. Well, so next up we've got The Color of Magic. We're doing 6 Discworlds in a row.
Yes.
The Color of Magic, The Light Fantastic, Weird Sisters. Is that number 3?
It's Equal Rights.
Equal Rights.
And Mort.
Mort. Weird Sisters, and then Sorcery.
And then the next one.
Yeah. Which we'll discuss at a later date.
We'll get to the next one.
Yeah, well, don't you worry. We'll get to pyramids.
I guess we just told you the first 6. You might be able to figure out the next one. But you can look it up.
If you decide to read any of those, you can read them out of order if you want. That's Terry Pratchett's thing.
Yeah, they have interlocking things.
Yeah.
But you could totally. I mean, I think we did that.
Yeah. Sometimes on accident, sometimes on purpose.
I've definitely not read them in order.
Yep.
I've read book 22.
Yep.
And then the first 7.
I read whichever Small Gods is. I'm not sure at what point that comes up. I think it's closer.
I think it's
than
close.
That,
yeah. I read one when we were going to do a holiday one for it.
We're going to do that. We'll do it this. We'll do it this Christmas. Yeah. But yeah, join us for that.
Yeah, they're cool. I'm excited to do these episodes.
Yep.
I should tell you something.
By the time these Discworlds all come out, we'll be cooking with season 2. That'll come out at some point next year.
Yep.
So that feels crazy. We're recording that far in advance.
I know. Look at us.
I think episode 1 of season 2 will be Catcher in the Rye. I've decided.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that'll be a nice, easy, quick read. Moving into season 2.
Dip our feet in, dip our toes into season 2.
Whole feet.
Get back and get our feet in. Just break the ice with season 2. Get back into some serious stuff.
Yeah, I'm just dipping my head into season 2.
That's funny.
Oh, that's so
Put
funny.
that on our t-shirts.
Just dipping our feet into books. Sounds kind of
Dip
gross.
a foot into reading.
That's like one time I was doing a senior project with a police department that I will not name because we're not going to reveal where we're from. And they had a program called Hooked on Fishing, Not on Drugs. And that's a similar vibe to stick your foot into reading.
Oh, that's good. Stick your foot into reading.
But yeah, join us for the Discworld books. Join us for Catcher in the Rye. And we'll see you soon.
Absolutely. And we're back with some spoilers.
Yes, sure. Oh, man. Boom. What was your favorite part of the Hero of Ages?
Oh, that's a good question. These books are so muddled for me at this point. It's tough.
Yeah. I'd say the spikes being revealed as being really big linchpin items of this world was neat.
Yeah, and that's something that we had a little bit more on. Once you look at it after it's been revealed, just things that have been it made a lot more sense than some of these other blind sides. They were cool. Makes the voices make more sense. It makes the bad guy seem a little bit more intriguing.
There's Spook having his situation where seeing Kelsier, but it turns out it's all because of the spike. I think that is cool. It's the only good thing Spook does in the entire trilogy. It's nice that he's finally a worthwhile character.
Yeah, the spike was especially neat for him, just the way he got it, and then he's keeping it as a badge of honor or something like that, and then it ends up being what's making him go nuts.
Or it might have been a situation where it's when sometimes people get stabbed and it's better to keep it in. Yeah,
because
they'd bleed out. Yep. Or infection. I don't know what kind of I was gonna say magic. What kind of medical systems they have around here?
Was it giving him more powers?
It was.
Okay, I think that might be it too. He wanted to keep those.
I don't think he knew initially though.
That would make sense.
That was a later revelation.
Because that would make sense. I think he thought that's part of it, why he thought Kelsier was involved.
Well, he was hearing Kelsier the same way Zane was hearing that voice.
Zane, and then hearing her brother.
Yep.
It's kind of cool. That's the tying into all the storylines that we're wanting with some of the other ones.
Yeah, that's
I felt
probably
more earned.
the coolest reveal they've had in the entire series. Is that Elend is still boring. It's weird that he could just become a Mistborn. I don't I don't think that jives with the reality of the world super well. Everyone's like, you got to be born a Mistborn. You got to be born a Mistborn.
Except for you.
Yeah,
You're
except for
one
this
of the
guy.
main characters.
Yeah. So you can
give you a
become.
pass.
Yeah. There's like it's really strange how you can just have a character die and come back to life in this series and have Vin's reaction the second time be completely nonplussed because she's like, well, he was playing with house money. I don't think it really matters. Strange reaction. The choice to have Sazed become God at the end is terrible. And I don't like it at all. I would rather him just do his
the
job.
Worst. Yeah, that's the worst possible outcome for him.
Because he can't go on and do the things he wants to do.
His whole deal. And now that he's back to being, that was tough. That's another thing that kind of makes me weirded out. And I guess it just kind of falls into like fantasy, not real science that we just can't explain.
Yeah.
But how the Lord Ruler, when he did it, like totally messed up the world.
Yeah.
And like the scale at which they're doing things, like it sounds like it'd be really, really tough to make these things happen perfectly. So for them to just like the second try ever be able to make the world perfect again seems crazy.
Maybe that's the second trilogy. Who knows?
maybe.
We don't know.
There's something that happens wrong. So that could be that could be a point that's bad for now, but maybe it leads to the next one.
We're gonna have to read them. Yeah, I'm sick to my stomach thinking about it.
I don't want.
Oh my god, dude! So like, leaving season 2, we're gonna be doing a random reads, and then the duology of or duology of the Ready Player One books. And then we'll be doing this trilogy. We're gonna have to do a bunch of Discworlds to be palate cleansers.
To have some fun again, yeah.
The Hero of Ages reads like the Hero of Aces on the side of the cover.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Yeah,
it really does. It's a very C-like G.
Yeah, there's a little dip, but like it doesn't create a loop. So that's something. Yeah, what we were alluding to earlier, the spike is on the cover of the book.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. That's a cool part of the book because that ends up being such a huge part, but you wouldn't know it before the book. So you're just like, oh, so that's why they put it there. It's kind of crazy. It's like just a regular railroad spike, though.
Yep. I guess that's kind of neat, kind of steampunky.
Yeah.
Yeah, they fumbled the bag with Sazed's arc.
Oh, I know that was
they handled the Kandra arc all right. I think the whole idea of them being giant amorphous beings that can be whatever they want is really weird. Like hard to visualize for me. Like you got crystalline.
Yeah, that would be a wild thing to have in the adaptation.
Yeah, I don't know
how
they
go to see the Kandra. Like, we might have to just say that they did. Totally believe them because they all sounded crazy.
Like you got that catacomb where you've got like the elders up at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty drawn out, that trial. I wish that had happened faster. Yeah, I hate the ending. I hate that Sazed's God. That's probably the worst part. Well, he's more Jesus than God. It's another, I didn't notice. It's another Jesus allegory. Because you got the, like, tri-souled God thing. Because you've got Elend and Vin.
You do.
Yeah, you've got, God and the Holy Spirit. And then you've got Spirit, like the God incarnate on earth. It's Sazed. So it's another freaking Jesus allegory. Stop it, Brandon. You can't have two in the same book.
Yeah, which one is he? Damn
I hate you, Brandon.
it. That's funny. I just got that.
2 Jesus allegories in one book. Come on. One book series, rather.
Yeah. Craziness.
It's a shame that like all the worst characters are the ones that are alive, other than Sazed. Like, doesn't the Conjure die?
Yeah.
Yep. Or Sir's dead, or whichever Conjure they wind up with.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then the only ones that are alive are like Spook, Breeze, and Sazed. That's it. It's like all of the least interesting ones
Yeah.
except for Sazed. Spook has a cool arc at the end, but he spends 2 books being boring.
Not cool, yeah. And then he just starts to become cool.
And then he becomes not cool again. Yeah, nice. That being said, I'd rather read the Spook book than the rest of it. I also hate his name still.
Yeah.
Still sounds vaguely racist,
it's not a cool name, Brandon.
Yeah, not good.
No, and I mean we beat it in the last like the first episode with just him in the first 2 books and the way he's treated. It's just rough.
Yeah, they're not very nice to him.
No, the 3rd book's a lot better for that.
But he's already changed.
But it's too bad. Yeah, it's.
Yeah, if I heard someone treated a friend of mine like that, like trying to downplay their culture and treat them poorly because of it, I would not treat whoever did that very well. And that's everyone in these books, including Vin.
Yeah, this guy's best friends, supposedly. I mean,
the only
really
people he knows.
Friends. Yeah, they're just his people. Like he's the group he's in, and his the only family member we're introduced to. Just treat you so bad for you. It's not even like a thing that you're doing that's bad. Like it's just you being you.
Yeah,
is wrong.
It's just how he talks.
Ugh, that's rough.
Yeah, and the idea of treating a whole nother dialect specifically as slang, not good. Not a good assessment. Like I got in an argument at my job at the hotel, the woman over African American vernacular English about whether or not that's like slang or not. And I'm like, ma'am, there's like scholarship on this. Like there's like books, entire books and papers and theories on this. You need to stop saying what you're saying.
you do not know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you're at the first like hurdle of the Dunning-Kruger. Like you need to relax. Oh man. Boom. Do you have anything else to say on this book?
I don't know. I think by the end of this trilogy, we've said a lot of our complaints and our pros, like are overarching.
Yeah. Could have been worse.
A whole lot, in that happened in this book that I didn't like more than it's the same things that we're not fans of.
Still grimdark, still dreary, still not a place you'd like to visit, except for the end. But like, you don't really know what kind of society they have in the end.
Yeah,
and still a shame that Sazed is God now.
That's what irks me the most, probably.
Yeah, it's probably the thing keeping it away from a B or at least a high C.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess it wanted maybe just like a twist for it not being Vin or Elend, like being the hero of ages. But like, I would have been okay with that.
Yeah,
that's what I was expecting.
I just want Sazed to be happy, and he's not going to be happy. He's doing things he didn't want to do. He's now a politician.
This is not. Yeah, that was not.
Because he's like a king god, like the Lord Ruler. Mm-hmm. So while he's able to exact things that he wants to change, he's not doing the things he wants to do.
The passion that he's had throughout the whole book, or the whole series, is never going to get to be actualized.
Because now he's got way too much responsibility. So that's a shame. Join us next time for Discworld 1, The Color of Magic, and then Discworld 2, The Light Fantastic, and Discworld 3, Equal Rights, Discworld 4, Mord, Discworld 5, Weird Sisters, and then Discworld 6, Sorcery.
Yeah.
Yep.
Coming out.
We've read them all.
Rapid fire.
Read every single one. And until then, I'm Spice.
Now, boom. We'll see you next time.